I say, yes, yes, ma'am, or yes, Captain, and she goes, it's not crunch time yet, Mr. Kim. And then she walks around, and then she goes, Thrusters, Mr. Paris, and engage. That's it. Very, very brief scene. So she sits in her chair, and she says, engage, and the whole series begins, right? Well, the way Genevieve did it was, she did her thing, she walks around, and she sits down in her captain's chair, and then she closed her eyes, and she went, engage. She whispered it, with her eyes closed. It was very, very independent film kind of acting, which was cool, but everyone was on the set going, oh my gosh, what kind of, there was all this kind of like, oh my gosh. So when she quit, on day 2, and they found the new captain, Janeway, the new Kate Mulgrew comes in, and the entire crew is now, you know, we're all waiting for her to redo that same scene, thinking, oh my gosh, how's it going to go? And Jay comes in, and she's like, it's not crunch time yet, Mr. Kim. She sits down, and she doesn't close her eyes. She looks right at the screen. She goes, engage. And then everyone's like, whoo, okay, we can work with that, you know. That silent engage was not so good. But yeah, Kate's an interesting woman. I mean, she really was. She did a good job. I think the biggest problem in the beginning, people had problems with her voice. Okay, they thought, wow, that's a really interesting voice, because it is. It's like if you take a party balloon and inhale the helium, and then combine it with Katharine Hepburn. That's Kate Mulgrew. Okay. If you don't like the helium reference, I'll say Smurfs the cartoon combined with Katharine Hepburn. That's Kate Mulgrew, okay? It's a very distinctive voice. And the funny thing was, remember what the complaints were by Genevieve? I wanted my hair down and natural, but instead, what do? They tell me that I have to put on this wig thing or whatever. And what do they do to Kate Mulgrew? Kate Mulgrew shows up. They gave her the first season, she has the bun of steel, okay? That thing is the most tightly wound thing of hair. It's horrible. I used to joke about that. I said, well, we should write a scene on Voyager where the turbo lift doors don't open up. They're like, wow, Kim's like, oh gosh, you know, Paris, I can't, this turbo lift door, it's broken, it's not working. And then all of a sudden, Jane would, step aside, step aside. She turns into a battering ram like that. Just, and then the doors open up. Thank you, Captain. No problem. Let us steal. So, but it took season after season after season, and finally, at the end of Voyager, what does Mulgrew's hair look like? It's down and natural. So Genevieve was right. From day 1, she was right. And Kate had to fight that the entire time to finally get her hair to a point where it felt normal and natural. Because that bun was horrible. I mean, come on, right? I mean, even that would be horrible on your grandmother. That's like horrible. Nobody wants that kind of hair. Yeah, but she was such a good leader and a really fun person to be around. But the first season, they were afraid that people would think that she'd be too soft being a woman captain. So the entire first season of Voyager, Kate Mulgrew had to reshoot about 17 or 18 scenes throughout the year because she got emotional. There are many times that first season where she'd get a little emotional about something as the captain, as the actress, and the directors, they were cool with it, but the writers and producers saw that and they said, no. We want her as tough as nails, so we're going to reshoot that scene. And then she kept reshooting that scene and kept reshooting other scenes, and so that's why, you know, when you see Janeway, how tough she is, that wasn't her choice. Her choice was to make it more human, and I believe I go with the more human aspect. I mean, you have, what movie is that where Picard is just bawling his eyes out for the whole first 10 minutes, you know? Which one is that? Generations, maybe? Yeah. Picard can do it, why can't Janeway have a tear or two, you know? It should be allowed, right? There's like one guy snickering like crazy, he's like, are you laughing at the fact that Picard cried the whole time, or? Oh no, okay. Just inside joke, right? All right, no worries. Anyway, so does anyone have any questions that they have regarding Voyager that they would like answered or are curious about? Don't be shy. Yes. You're going to get mic on. 1 second. Answer that again.
What do you think was the best part working with the whole cast of Voyager, like just being a part of the show? What would you think was the best part of just doing it?
What was the best part of work on Voyager?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely the relationships I developed with the other cast members, you know. when people ask me what's your favorite episode, I say, well, there's two. Timeless, where the ship crashes into the ice planet, right? And then Kim has to save the day 15 years in the future. And then Caretaker, which is the first episode of Voyager, which I think was as good or better than all the other first episodes of any other Trek. And the reason why I liked that first episode was because that was the time that I got to meet people and my fellow cast members and get to know them for the very first time. So it was a really exciting time for me. I remember when I met Tuvok for the first time, and sometimes it's so funny. He's the one guy that throughout the 7 years, I would oftentimes forget his first name was Tim, and I would just call him Tuvok. You know, just say, hey, Tuvok, come here. I couldn't remember. I walked up to him the first day that we were filming together on the pilot, and I said, hey, it's really funny, man. Your name is Tuvok. I mean, one little change of a consonant, you could be Tupac, like the rapper, right? He didn't laugh at all. He just looked at me and he went, rap music is the reason for the fall of modern Western civilization. And I go, what? I look at him, I'm like, he really is Vulcan in real life. I mean, God, who talks like that, you know?